Today I have my Dephemerember journal. It's a project on 2023, a prompt challenge from 49 Dragonflies, and she has a lot of wonderful techniques to learn. This is a printable that came with it, and you made a little folder to put your challenges in, and I did not do all of them because I went a little bit too big, and I just decided that was enough. We were to use a 3-ring binder, and so I had this old cloth one that I decided to paint and collage on the front of it. The side I painted and then put some cut-out dragonflies out of fabric. The back I made some stamp pads, Distress Oxide stamp pads. I put a watercolor paper drawing of a paintbrush and some tubes of paint. And I did some Distress Oxide. You can barely see a little butterfly in here of watercolor, and then splattered it with paint. And then these little palettes open up so you can write some little proverbs and such on there. I have the same religion as the tree over there. I don't know the name of that. Another little quote. So I put little quotes on this ink pad, and I wanted it to have a layered look. So that is the back. The front, I wanted it to be a little artist. I added a dangle here with a paint tube that I made out of watercolor paper, and a charm, and a paint palette. And I added a leaf that I have in a collection of leaves from purchased. But I made the little palette, added the paintbrush on the top to give it some length, and then put some scraps of fabric, because we use some fabric scraps in our journals, and a little folded piece there. Cut out this fairy from fabric and did a couple layers so I could have some depth to it here, and gave her a paintbrush. And then this is a slide with a plastic on it, and I have actual daffodil leaf and some moss inside, and I did a stamp here and then outlined it and made this little easel. That's the chain hanging at the back part. And I splattered it with paint so it would look like it had been quite used. Let's see if I can get a picture of that. So, the inside, I covered it with fabric. I had painted on it was kind of a fabric-covered journal to begin with. I made the pocket there. I left this little protector. This is the first page. Get this light moved out of the way. I'm also going to show you my bead box that I keep at my art desk. That one also for travel. And this bead box that I use here at my desk for junk journaling. In my little supply stuff. So here is the first challenge. Let me get the challenge out. I don't think it's written down anywhere. Opening. So I decided to make a door, and I have these hinges on here. I used cinnamon and Mod Podge, but I painted the hinges first in some turquoise and browns, and then did the cinnamon and Mod Podge, mix it together on the, like you put your glue down first and then your cinnamon, and you kind of squish it into it a little bit. Then you take a heat gun and heat it till it boils. I also did spray oxide on the lock here, and I have a little rolled up piece of paper for the lock. Below the door's steps that I've folded and added texture paste so it looked like snow. And I put the number over the door and the name, Ms. Rodent. On the inside, I have a place to write. And this is Effie, the mascot for that year. And peeking out the window, and on the inside, I cut a ladder out. And she's hanging ornaments for the tree. Because this is a December challenge. It's the month of December. So that's that little page. The second challenge. Oh, I did a little writing about the prompt. And this is not the second challenge. Yeah, I'm not sure what this challenge is. I might have just decorated the page. Oh, torn paper and butterflies. And that's challenge number 4. So torn paper. And then this is the butterfly one. And so I used their printable, but I added some gauze. And I did a double print so I could have both sides be the butterfly. And that's more torn paper, and I put butterflies on it. This is a note pocket, challenge number 3. So I made a nice pocket here with fabric bow and some scraps. And it's dyed with a stencil, hand-dyed beat paper, but then I did the stencil on top of making it look like a shadow with an ink pad. Let's see if I can get a little closer picture of that. See the top of the page, pocket is turned under. And this is spray oxide and splattered. I think I laid a butterfly down there to leave the image empty. Then in here is a pocket, but I've glued the drawing down inside the pocket, but you could still use it as a pocket in general. And it's splattered. And this is a business envelope that I left the window in and then just distress dyed the outside of the pocket. This one is salvage birds. So I took one of my drawings. It was kind of more tattered. She's replacing her feathers in her, tattered look. And you can see the rock background. So this is distress oxide in the back. I've distressed the edge of the page. And then I just took really scrappy looking pieces, added some more paint to it, and some dried, they're plastic flowers here. And some old jewelry. Get a closer look at that. So it's several layers. A manila folder that I've distressed and aged the edges of the page. And then the background is on a manila Amazon envelope. And I've added some tissue here and painted acrylic paint on it. And the sewing around it is actually from the other side, but yeah, kind of adds some look to it. This challenge was a selfie in a bubble, and so I have Effie taking a picture of me, and I'm in reflection in his camera. And I've added some dimension, some flowers, and left him a little bit free there. Some of these are flowers or printables from the Dephemerember site, YouTube channel. And then I added my picture up here, taking a picture of Effie, and you can see he's hiding out. He's got a leaf on his head and the eyes. I wanted to alter the pictures to make them look different than what the printable actually was. So that's kind of like his hat, but it looks like a leaf. And then I've added glitter to the background. And then I just added more circles to do the camera type image back here with this glitter paper. And then this one's a pocket. And so since it was bubble, I added the bubble paper. I've had torn edge there. I did some stamping here on this paper at the background. And then I did some watercolor bubbles. Oh, there's another picture in there. Oh, I tried it on acetate. And then some, oh, I can't remember the name of this paper. It's real thin and almost plasticky. Probably an acetate of some type too. So there was some more bubbles added to the project. Let's see, the next one. Oh, this was, it seems like there was one about a frame. So I took an old picture that I took of a hay bale, and it looked like a moon in the background. And then I just put a frame around. And then that's where you can do some journaling, and I journaled about the process of that selfie in the bubble. A shaker. Where was this challenge? It's supposed to be in a shaker. Yeah, I think I got carried away in adding other things. I think one of the girls did a shaker thing, so I added a Christmas card cut out. Blank on this side. I had to add foam in the depth of it to let the beads in the inside be able to move around. So it was kind of like doing a specimen card, and then I added depth to it. The back is the back part of it, and then here it stands out. And so that was kind of an interesting technique if you want to do a bubble type thing. And I used the glitter paper. I haven't used that, so it was kind of a challenge to try using this holographic paper. I stenciled some snowflake type designs. This one, oh, this is considered selfie in the bubble. Not really. This one is COLCKS WINGS, challenge number 7. And so I wanted dragonfly wings. It's my favorite insect. And I have some of this cork wallpaper samples. And I went ahead and made rivets in it like it was a watch band, and did the rust technique with the Mod Podge glue and cinnamon. And I didn't make it as thick and bubbly. But you can see a little bit of turquoise paint back there. And then I cut out some dragonflies, added some more clocks from her printables on the site. I think the dragonflies were from her site too. And just added a lot of clocks so it would have that depth. And in the background I put old dictionary page and did some stamping on it with rubber stamps. And this is more of the COLCKS WINGS. So I did a print print my own wings out and put Effie as the dragonfly. And then I just tucked these in here as part of the prompt with wings, a little tag, so you can write on the back of that. And what other tags do I have in here? So this was like a manila folder, and I cut it down so it would fit in here as a page. Did a massive amount of collaging here with some honeybees that I watercolored and then cut out. These are just some tags to write on, have a little tab at the top of it, and write on the back. And this is a little envelope pocket that you can add your writings in the side. Challenge number 7, Clocks and Wings. So I wrote about the challenge. That was a collage. This is more of the theme of the butterfly. So because I chose such big pages and made it heavy duty, it filled up really quick. Just a little watercolor tag. And these pockets are sewn on. I used napkins for the background, the honeybees apiary napkin, and that's collaged on. And I did it in several different pieces because I wanted the design to show here. And this is more the cork that I cut into a circle and added one of her dragonflies on the front. And talking of dragonflies, I'm going to show you this necklace I will be doing in my workshops, copper enameling. And this is the copper I did with a stencil, and then this one's a copper piece I did, and then I just added an assortment of beads on here, and I used scrap silk scarves, and it is silk because it feels so much better on the neck, and then I did the crimp beads here, added bits and pieces of necklace and some what is that stone? Turquoise. Threw in a little peace symbol. So the necklace is long and you can bring it short or whatever you want, but it's an assortment of scrap silk pieces and a little bit of turquoise ribbon thrown in. And then the reverse side of it, all the copper stuff I make is double-sided. So this one's trees for my tree in my yard. And this copper is double-sided with the enamel. And then the little charm of dragonfly. And this one has a tiny little turtle on it and some I think it's rosewood? No, sandalwood bead with the copper tops on it. And then the little flowers added to the bottom. So that's in one of my workshops that I do. And I really like doing the jewelry. Goes with my boho clothing really nice. So back to the challenge, I have this is Halloween, number 11, Halloween Meets Christmas. And I'm going to pause this a minute to make sure my timer doesn't go off.